Anyway, this next song is Irving Berlin. And Irving Berlin, his family came from Russia. And at a time when it was awful there, and they had very little to get to this country. And it was a long journey. But they crossed that great pond, and there was the Statue of Liberty. And Irving fell in love with America. He fell in love with the beauty, the song, the soul, and he was our inspiration. And he came over at 5, and at 8, Irving was selling newspapers because his father had passed on, and he was on the streets. And he heard this wonderful music coming from the saloons. And it made him so happy that Irving, he wrote a song about the piano. And right here, Joe Gattone, who I happened to know, 32 years ago. He's saying 2 years. 2 years ago, that's good. So Joe plays such a wonderful piano, and I'm so glad you're here. And anyway, I hope you have a long life like Irving. 101 years he lived, and he gave us 1,500 songs. Can you imagine? And he never wrote a note of music. But he heard it in his head and was able to play it. I think he had a piano that actually moved up the keys and down the keys, so it was pretty amazing. Well, hit it, Joe. As a child, I went wild when the band played. How I ran to the man when his hand swayed. Clarinets were my pets, and the slide trombone I thought were simply divine. But one day when they played, I could hiss them. Every bar was ajar to my system. But there's one musical instrument that I call mine. Play it, Joe. I love the piano. I love the piano. I love to hear somebody play upon a piano, a grand piano. It simply carries me away. I know a fine way to keep a Steinway. I like to run my fingers o'er the keys, the ivories, and with the paddle. I love to meddle when Mr. Joe Gattone just plays. I'm so delighted that I invited Mr. Joe to play today. Oh, you can keep your fiddle and your bow. Just give me Joe and a piano. Oh, I love to stand right beside an upright or a high-toned baby grand. Thank you, Joe.